Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon. Today, we're diving into a topic that sends chills down the spines of even the most tech-savvy users hacking tools in Linux. We're going to take a look at 10 of the most popular Linux tools that hackers use to exploit systems and steal your precious data. Don't worry though, we're not just going to leave you hanging. For each tool, we'll also discuss practical ways you can protect yourself from becoming a victim. So, buckle up. Hit that subscribe button and get ready to learn about the dark side of the Linux world. Let's dive in. First up, we have Nmap, which stands for Network Mapper. This tool is like the Swiss Army knife of network exploration. Imagine you're a hacker and you want to case out a network before you break in. You need to know what devices are connected, what ports are open, what services are running. You know, all the juicy details. That's where Nmap comes in. This little command line utility can scan entire networks for active hosts and services, giving hackers a detailed map of potential targets. But hold on, there's good news. While Nmap is a hacker's best friend, it's also a powerful tool for network administrators. By using Nmap, system admins can proactively identify weaknesses in their network's defenses and patch up vulnerabilities before hackers even know they exist. So how can you protect yourself from the dark side of Nmap? Well, strong firewalls are your best friend. Configure your firewall to only allow traffic on essential ports and block everything else. Next up, we have Wireshark, the network analyzer. It's like having a super-powered listening device for your network traffic. That private message you sent? Not so private. With Wireshark, it could be as public as a Times Square billboard. It captures data packets traveling across your network. Hackers can extract sensitive information like passwords and credit card numbers. But it's also a valuable tool for network troubleshooting and analysis. Encryption is your best friend here. Use a VPN to encrypt your internet traffic. Let's talk about Metasploit, a massive toolbox of exploits and vulnerabilities. It's an open-source framework for developing and using exploits. Hackers use it to automate attacks and scan for vulnerabilities. Security professionals use it for penetration testing to identify vulnerabilities. Keep your systems patched and up to date to protect against it. Strong passwords and patched systems are your best defense. Chapter 4. John the Ripper. Cracking passwords like a safe cracker. Let's be honest, we've all been guilty of using weak passwords at some point. But with John the Ripper on the loose, those weak passwords are like open invitations for hackers. This tool is a password cracker extraordinaire, designed to test the strength of passwords and, unfortunately for us, crack them wide open. John the Ripper uses various techniques like dictionary attacks, brute force attacks, and rainbow table attacks to guess passwords and gain unauthorized access to systems. But fear not. While John the Ripper is a formidable foe, there are ways to protect yourself. The most effective strategy is to create strong, unique passwords for every single account. Consider using a password manager, which is like a secure vault for all your passwords. These tools generate and store complex passwords for you, so you only need to remember one master password. Chapter 5. Hydra, the Brute-Force Battering Ram. Hold on tight because we're entering the world of brute force attacks with Hydra, a tool that can bombard your login pages with countless password attempts. Hydra is a network login cracker that systematically tries different username and password combinations against a target system. It's fast, efficient, and can target multiple services simultaneously, making it a popular choice for hackers looking to gain unauthorized access. But don't worry, there are ways to fortify your defenses against this digital battering ram. First and foremost, enable two-factor authentication, 2FA, whenever possible. 2FA adds an extra layer of security by requiring a secondary form of verification, like a code sent to your phone, in addition to your password. Another effective strategy is to implement rate limiting on your login pages. Rate limiting restricts the number of login attempts allowed from a single IP address within a specific time frame. Chapter 6. Aircrack-ing, your Wi-Fi's worst enemy. Let's talk about Wi-Fi security, or rather, the lack thereof, because with Aircrack-ung in the picture, your Wi-Fi network could be more vulnerable than you think. This suite of tools is specifically designed to assess the security of Wi-Fi networks, and in the wrong hands, it can be used to crack passwords and hijack your internet connection. Aircrack-Ang works by capturing data packets transmitted over Wi-Fi networks and using sophisticated algorithms to crack the encryption keys protecting your data. But fear not, my friends, because there are ways to shield your Wi-Fi from this digital eavesdropper. The most crucial step is to choose a strong encryption protocol for your Wi-Fi network. WPA2 is the gold standard for Wi-Fi security, providing robust encryption that's much harder to crack than its predecessor, WEP. Another layer of protection is to choose a strong, unique password for your Wi-Fi network. Treat your Wi-Fi password like you would your online banking password. Keep it long, complex, and secret. Chapter 7. Burp Suite Unmasking Web Application Vulnerabilities. It allows hackers and security professionals to intercept, analyze, and manipulate traffic between web browsers and web servers, exposing security flaws that could be exploited. Imagine a detective meticulously examining every nook and cranny of a crime scene for clues. That's Burp Suite in action, scrutinizing every request and response between your browser and a website, looking for vulnerabilities that can be exploited to steal data, inject malicious code, or take control of the application. But don't worry, there are ways to protect your web applications from this digital detective work. The key is to implement secure coding practices and regularly test your applications for vulnerabilities. Consider using a web application firewall, or WAF, which acts as a shield between your web application and the outside world, blocking malicious traffic and preventing attacks before they reach your servers. Chapter 8. Nikto, the web server's worst critic. Let's talk about Nikto, a tool that's like a relentless auditor for your web server, scanning for vulnerabilities and security misconfigurations that could leave your website open to attacks. Nikto works by sending a barrage of requests to your web server, looking for specific signatures that indicate vulnerabilities, outdated software, or misconfigured settings. But don't worry, you can silence this critic and keep your web server secure. Keep your web server software up to date. Regularly update your web server software, plugins, and frameworks to patch vulnerabilities and address security issues. Disable unnecessary services and features on your web server. The fewer services running, the smaller the attack surface for hackers to target. It's like reducing the number of entry points to your fortress. The fewer doors and windows you have, the harder it is for intruders to get in. Chapter 9. SQL Map. The database's Arch-Nemesis. Get ready for SQL Map, a tool that strikes fear into the heart of every database administrator. This tool is specifically designed to exploit a common web application vulnerability called SQL injection, which can give attackers complete control over your precious data. But don't despair, there are ways to protect your databases from this data-hungry monster. The most effective defense against SQL injection is to use parameterized queries or prepared statements when interacting with your databases. These techniques ensure that user input is treated as data, not as executable code, preventing attackers from injecting malicious SQL commands. Regularly scan your web applications for SQL injection vulnerabilities using automated tools or manual testing techniques. It's like having a security guard patrol the perimeter of your database, looking for any signs of intrusion or suspicious activity. Chapter 10. Social Engineering Toolkit. SET. The Art of Deception. And now, for our final act, let's talk about the Social Engineering Toolkit. SET. A tool that proves that sometimes the weakest link in the security chain is us, humans. SET is a framework that allows attackers to create sophisticated phishing attacks, fake websites, and other social engineering tricks to deceive unsuspecting users. Imagine receiving an email that looks legitimate, asking you to click on a link or download a file. But little do you know, it's a trap set by SET, designed to steal your credentials, install malware on your system, or gain unauthorized access to your data. But fear not, there are ways to protect yourself from these digital con artists. Be wary of suspicious emails, links, or attachments, even if they appear to come from trusted sources. Always verify the sender's address, hover over links to check their destination, and never download attachments from unknown sources. Educate yourself and others about common social engineering tactics. So there you have it, folks. 10 Linux tools that can be used for both good and evil in the digital world. Remember, knowledge is power, and by understanding the tools and techniques that hackers use, we can better protect ourselves from becoming victims. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more cybersecurity goodness. Stay safe out there, and always keep your systems secure. Until next time, stay vigilant, stay curious, and keep those firewalls strong.